which means once there was and once there was not. Persian is a little bit like Arabic, so maybe in Arabic you say kan ya makan, qadim asman. In Persian you say yaki bud yaki nabud, and in Welsh you say amser maikanu. But because the story's Persian, we're going to say it in Persian, in Farsi. So yaki bud yaki nabud. The earth was in trouble. The earth, you two, are you ready for a story?
People say bad stuff.
I know, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Are you ready for a story? Good. Once upon a time, the earth was in trouble. The earth called all the birds. Come meet me in the forest. And one of every single bird came. The sparrow, the swan, the eagle, the seagull, the kingfisher, the hummingbird, they all came to the forest. And they ate the food that the earth had generously provided, and they drank some clear water, and then they listened. And they heard the voice of the earth. And the earth said, "Dear birds, I am in trouble. There are too many wars in my lands. People are not looking after each other. People are dropping rubbish everywhere in my seas, on my rivers, on my land. How can we deal with this? People are not being kind to each other. People are fighting each other. I need your help. I need you to fly on a journey beyond time, to take a message beyond time, to say, help, the earth is in trouble." And then the earth was quiet, and the birds were quiet, and they said, "Did the earth really speak to us?" And they knew that the earth was in trouble because there were so many wars, and there was so many rubbish, and people weren't looking after the planet. And the bird said, "But we can't do that. We can't go on a journey beyond time. It's impossible. How are we going to help the earth? How are we going to do it? How are we going to do it?" And one by one they said, "I'm not good enough." But then there was this bird called a hoopoo. You might have seen the hoopoo. It's got a little red hat, and it's black and white, and he goes, "Ooh." And the hoopoo said, exactly. And the hoopoo said, "Ooh." What did the hoopoo say? The hoopoo said, "Birds, come with me. I am a messenger from the world invisible. I'll take you to beyond time so we can help the earth." And the bird said, "Okay." So the birds flew, and they flew so high they left the atmosphere of the earth, and they looked back and they saw the earth was blue. And they were sad to leave the earth. They said, "We love the earth. We want to help the earth." So they flew, and they flew, and they flew. And then the hoopoo said, "Before we get beyond time, we're going to meet 7 monsters. Each one of us must defeat the 7 monsters in order to get beyond time." Here comes the first monster. The first monster was the monster of doubt. And the monster of doubt said, "Birds, you're not good enough. You're not clever enough. You're not brave enough to go on this journey. You can't save the earth. You're not good enough." And some birds thought, "I don't think I am good enough." And the birds felt, "Ew." But some birds said, "I'm good enough. I want to help the earth." And they flew, and they defeated the monster of doubt. And the birds flew on, and they flew, and they flew, and they flew on, and the hoopoo led them. And they said, "Watch out, it's the second monster." The second monster was the monster of false potions. The monster said, "Birds, I've got this little drink. If you drink it, you'll have superpowers. You'll be amazing." And some birds thought, "Yeah, I want superpowers. I'm going to have that drink." And they did drink it, but when they did, they fell asleep. But some birds said, "I don't need superpowers. I'm good enough as I am." And they flew. They flew. The birds, the little sparrows, the swans, the seagulls, and the eagles. What other birds? The kingfishers. What other birds? The owls. What other birds? The storks, the crows, the ravens.
I'm a kingfisher.
The kingfishers with their blue and orange feathers, they flew to the third monster. You know the third monster was the monster of jealousy. Who's met that monster?
He's jealous.
Jealous. The monster of jealousy said,
I am.
made all the birds wish they were someone else. Oh, I don't like being me. I wish I was beautiful like the swan, or I wish I was wise like the owl. I wish I was beautiful and orange and blue like that kingfisher. I wish I was clever like the crow. And all the birds started feeling sad about who they were. And when they were sad, they just got trapped in the nets of jealousy and they couldn't fly on. But some birds said, you know what? I like being who I am. That gave them the power and they flew. So the birds that flew on, they defeated the monster of doubt, the monster of false potions, the monster of jealousy, but there were 4 more monster valleys to go. The next monster, this one is a really bad one, the monster of hate. Anyone felt the monster of hate? Me, I have sometimes. The monster of hate was like a volcano, and the birds that flew too close, their wings got burnt and they couldn't fly on. Because if you fly too close to hate, you can't keep going. But there were some birds that said, I don't want to go near that hate. All I want to do is feel love in my heart, and they flew. They defeated that monster of hate, but some birds didn't. They got burnt in the volcano of hate and they fell. Now, there was another monster valley ahead, and that was the monster of power, the bullion monster. And the bullion monster said, aren't you tired of being bossed around and told what to do? Don't you wish you were in charge? Some birds said, yeah. The sparrow said, I wish I was in charge. I wish the eagle would listen to me. I wish I could tell everyone what to do. Ever wanted to be the boss of everyone else? Ever known that monster? And some birds, they said, yeah, I want to be the boss, and they turned to stone. But some birds said, I don't want to be the boss of anyone. I just like being me. And they flew. There was 2 more monsters to go. The next monster was the monster of cruelty. And he sent out an army with sharp claws and talons, and there was a terrible fight. But it was the eagle said, I don't want to fight. Fighting only brings death. I want to be a warrior for peace. And many birds followed the eagle, said, we'll be a warrior for peace, because peace is better than war. And they flew. But some birds, they didn't survive. There was 1 more valley to go before they reached beyond time. And that was the worst valley of all. It was the valley of despair. I hope you never felt despair. The monster of despair said, you've wasted your time. There's no point. There's nothing beyond time. There's nowhere to go. You've wasted your journey. Your friends have been lost in vain. And some of the birds thought, oh no. But it was the sparrow who said, I love the earth. I want to save the earth. And the other birds, they felt hope in their heart, which is the antidote to despair, isn't it? And they sang too. They sang, I love the earth, I want to save the earth. They sang a bit louder than that. I love the earth, I want to save the earth. I love the earth, I want to save the earth. And they sang so loud that the monster of despair turned to the monster of hope. And no birds got lost in that valley. Well, the ones that have remained, there were less birds now, but they flew to the treasure house beyond time. And they saw a light that was so bright, brighter than the sun. And they heard a voice. And they said, the earth's in trouble. What do we do? What do we do? And they heard a voice, and the voice said, the light that you see is the light in your heart. And you have the same light in all of your hearts, because all of you are connected. All of you are brother and sister birds. You all have the same light. And they saw the light in their heart. They said, yeah, we've got the same light in all our hearts. We're the same. And then they flew. And they flew back to earth. And because they were so shining with the love in their hearts, the shining light of love, that when they flew past all the monsters, all their friends and the monsters, they turned good. And their friends that they'd lost in the valleys, they flew again. And everyone survived. Everyone was well again and alive again, and they all flew back to the earth. And they landed on the forest floor, and they ate the food the earth had given them, and they drank the water that the earth had given them. And then they told the earth their journey, and the earth said, thank you, my birds. Now all you need to do is to sing to the people, and you need to sing this song. Tell them that everyone is connected and we are all one and we are all the same, and all we need to do is look after each other and look after the earth together. And if you sing, the people will listen. And the birds, they sang, and all the people listened to the sparrow and the crow and the kingfisher and the seagull, and they said, yeah, you're right, birds. We're all the same, and we need to look after each other, and we need to look after the earth. And that's the story. I'm glad everyone heard that message. That's nice, isn't it? It's a nice story.